I've been a dedicated theater designer and creative director for 38 years. When I was 18, I wanted to be Michelangelo, then Picasso. I wanted to be a real artist, so I moved myself from rural Southern Oregon to Portland to be a full-time scholarship art student at the Museum Art School, just up the street. It was 1976, and this was a very energized Portland, and this was the heart of it. I was inspired beyond belief in my 18-year-old self. I swam in the fountains. I played my guitar. I sketched. I saw my big first theatrical productions and concerts in this hall. I even shook Jimmy Carter's hand in the plaza. I think he liked my haircut. A place like this is so special to me. This auditorium is special to me and a broad Portland creative community. It serves up something can only be experienced by being here, live and in person. I had no idea back then that I would practically be living in theaters like this one. A place like this, a proper stage, 3,000 seats, good acoustics. This is a civic auditorium that's been coming to life almost every night for 107 years. Generations of audiences with their butts in your seat, here to witness every manner of performance, every second of it live. 40 years ago, when it appeared that I was heading for a career in show business, I made an important early decision, one that I'm still proud of and fits me like a glove. I would focus on live entertainment. We've been awarded for our work in television and film, but it's the live performances for a live audience that gave me goosebumps, and it still does. Today, this theater represents the pinnacle of a place whose sole purpose is to ensure that performance can be presented at its peak form. I've had the unique opportunity to spend the last 35 years exploring and working in the world's most iconic theaters, alongside many of the leading creative artists of our time. It's been a blessing to explore the world through theater. In all the cities and countries, I noticed a pattern among theaters that's obvious when you think about it. The most vibrant and visited neighborhoods surround creative entertainment venues. It's obvious because we're social creatures and we want to be where people are. More so when you include food, drink, shopping, and leisure activities. These things seem to pop up around cultural venues anywhere in the world. I've been so fascinated by these excited spaces around cultural venues that I've expanded my design practice to include environment-wide placemaking. In my case, it's an extension of my theater work, utilizing the same principles as storytelling, beauty, and discovery. We discovered looking through the lens of theater is a great way to imagine built environments and the public who inhabit those spaces, like a stage that has to accommodate all the actors in this city story. And a good example of this is my Dragon Towers in Macau. We had a high-speed monorail separated by a destination resort by about a quarter mile and one of the world's largest musical water features. The heat of Macau is so intense. Walking and trafficking along sidewalks was the least favored option. Buses, trams, so clumsy. We imagined an aerial gondola system with the support towers designed as golden dragons, very venerable in the Chinese community. The audiences were taken from the monorail, whisked away, and floated over the active water feature and deposited gracefully on the second floor of the hotel, cool and collected. This has been a free public attractor for the last 10 years. It's been very popular. For urban planners and placemaking, theaters can teach us how to use space well and how to create a space that human connection can happen, but can not only happen, but to be more magical. Theater has to connect or it fails. The same is true with public spaces. Theater has to provide imagination and surprise, or no one would come. Public spaces with no imagination and surprise are the same thing, flops. People want an interesting story, beautifully delivered, that makes them feel something about a place. That is placemaking. Thoughtful, creatively designed cities and public spaces that are the most attractive to visit are invariably the most attractive to live and work in. The well-known Chinese proverb puts this nicely: make happy those that are close, and those that are far will come. This is the core idea of placemaking. It's for residents interacting with their usual environment. Tourism, on the other hand, is about people outside their usual environment, an important distinction, often confused by developers and the public alike. Another misunderstanding about cities and city building is the assumption that cities set the direction for their future. Actually, it doesn't work this way. That direction is best left to the collective, massive energy that flows from its residents. The city's real job is to provide groundwork so that the population can flourish. People will naturally do the hard work. If people feel they're in the right place, they will form neighborhoods, start businesses, create jobs, schools, and culture itself. So we've managed to be so successful that we've filled our cities and the entire planet with super evolved 21st century humans. One thing we haven't evolved out of is our desire to live in communal societies, our cities. There's a paradox here. On one hand, we're compelled to live in communal communities, but we are so evolved and individualistic, how can you please everyone? What can a city do to handle such a complex population? I would say this to cities: embrace and support those things that most make us human. Allow me to explain what I think the most human things are. As we've evolved as a species, human creativity allowed us to succeed. That creativity allowed us to master survival, but creativity kept going much farther, evolving into language, arts and sciences, and maybe most importantly, abstract thought. We suspect early in this genesis came the beginnings of theater. Of course, it was live theater. Verbal storytelling has been the backbone of our collective knowledge since the beginning. The impact and outcome of a story could be made more successful if a talented storyteller was involved. Dance and the movement arts folded in about the same time as singing and music, all of it in service to human connection via theatrical expression. These ancient arts are not that far from us. Our modern stages serve this original purpose, although with technologies that would be unimaginable by the most imaginative ancient performer. I share the broad history of the performing arts to underscore the importance of creative thought in our place as an evolved society. I truly believe that the most sophisticated and highest expression of human development is the fact that we create art. Equally amazing is that it is unique to humans. No other creature in the natural world creates art, music, or dance for any reason other than procreation and survival. It's the most unusual and undefinable motivation that compels us to explore the creative arts. And yet it's always there, tugging away at so many of us. Thank goodness. Experiencing art builds elasticity into our thinking. It's true for cities as well. Those with a strong creative core are more successful, they're more happy, and they are certainly more interesting. A city's happiness level depends on many things. One of those things, and studies prove this out, is the strength of a city's creative community. The music, live performance, and creative arts give you a good look at the heart health of a city. Cities need to get this point. The creative cultural engine has a multiplier effect on the quality of the city itself. Those that have a strong creative community inspire and move a city in 1,000 ways. A weak creative community does nothing to move the needle. Cities have good times and they have bad times, up and down over decades or generations. Recently, Portland was hit with a trifecta of major problems. We are an amazing city, known worldwide for our beauty, our independence, and a population that upholds the Keep Portland Weird mantra. Things were going very well without us really trying very hard. It was our residents who did it. Classic placemaking. People came from all over the world, tourists, to experience and see this super cool city. Since then, we've been overwhelmed by Occupy Wall Street, George Floyd protests, mass riots, a COVID pandemic, widespread homelessness, and a fentanyl epidemic. There are many amazing city recovery stories out there. New Orleans was hit with a natural disaster and has reemerged like a phoenix. It shouldn't take a tragedy to inspire efforts to not only maintain, but to improve at all times. Here in Portland in 2024, we didn't have a natural crisis. It was more of an existential crisis, and yet an opportunity for a reset. I'm one of many who are pledged to this commitment that unilaterally we can get our shit together. The creative community is a mighty force with the skills to lend a powerful hand to cities to create what they need. An imaginative, sustainable, clear direction and vision that is a message to the city itself. That message is the creative community rolling up their sleeves and getting together on this. The imaginative folks are good at getting things done. We are thinkers, we're makers, and because we have to be, we are tenacious. Some of us are leaders, and for those that aren't leaders, I don't really believe you. Please re-examine that quality within yourself. For sure, we can push our cities in the right direction to create a brilliant, happy ending to this play. Please don't sit in the audience on this one. I'm urging all of us to get on stage. Thank you.